Junpei, Clover, Snake, and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and stepped through. The room they found themselves in was full of books.
Wow! It's totally full of books!
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
It looked remarkably like a library. That would be because it is. Not the sort of library where large numbers of people came to read books. More the sort of library that was simply a place to store books. He felt a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of books, but Junpei did his best to speak with authority.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge. As he began his search, for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Oh boy, here we go.
New escape room. All right.
A new escape room, no walkthrough this time. It's the first time, so we gotta do it properly.
We do this like actual escapee.
Yeah. There's a note
Yay.
on that table. Lights to the books. Huh. What does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next. They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not at all. I live in the darkness, yes, but that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say.
This is new escape room music.
There's a note on top of the table. It's a coat rack, like a place where you can hang coats and hats and stuff. Well, this one's not too big, so maybe just hats. This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up, or we're going to end up in the pages of a book like that. The theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly.
Darwin's finches.
Paleontology. This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking. Mother Nature. Is that some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not, except perhaps tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Junpei! Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better put to use elsewhere. At least, that's what I read. I was rather young. I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Why not? Dude, kids are interested in biology. Kids are interested in science. Micrographia, huh? Yes. Robert Hooke's famous work, first published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects, inorganic substances, and other things too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of the things he'd examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Seems that way. Creatures of the South Seas, huh? I wonder if this one's got pictures of colorful fish and stuff. Introduction to geology, huh? Thinking about the Earth, even when you're on the ocean. Kind of romantic in a way, I guess. Theories of the Cambrian explosion. Did a bomb go off near somewhere called Cambria? 7! Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Okay. There's so many books. Principles of monkey behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans evolutionarily, so I imagine the research was fruitful. Oh, look, Seven. Here's a book that's perfect for you.
Boy.
It's called Correlation of Muscle, Bone Density, and Bone Strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. Well, yes. This book is just called Dissection. Fun! This bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. This library must be massive. I'm rather impressed by how well organized it is. Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy. Regeneration of internal organs?
Axolotls.
What's a picture book like that doing here? It looks like it's about Little League. It does seem a little weird that it's so different from the others, huh? Maybe you ought to take it with you? We have a book.
We have a book about baseball.
There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball stuff. Whoa!
Oh! No head?
So no head?
Break skateboard.
This is one of those pop-up books, isn't it? It says H-E-A-D. Head. You mean like where my brain is? I'm not fully convinced that you have one of those, Junpei. Dissection Atlas. Blah, blah, blah. Recreation of lost human functions. Reconstructing abilities that humankind once possessed. Cultivating a sixth sense. That makes sense. Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history? There are so many shelves. Oh my god. Foundations of DNA.
So I will say you don't have to look at every shelf.
Yeah. I'm like,
It might
okay,
be worth
let's,
looking elsewhere.
Yeah, let's check out what else is here. Dadkind. What the hell is this? Oh, Dadkind. Okay. Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Liebhernius? This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. Sheldrake. Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... Yeah. The one... We heard about him. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Hey, Junpei, you think maybe you're supposed to put those pop-up books on the stands? Then you could open them up. Oh yeah, if we do that, then they make a shadow on the bottom there. True, but there are 3 stands, right? We don't have enough picture books. In other words, we need 3 picture books. Lovely. This bookshelf has a sort of glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there are only 6 books on it. That seems kinda weird. Hey, it looks like there's something on the bottom. I can't really see it though. The glass is all foggy. God damn it. Cylinder lock. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, it's like they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot. What do you mean it's like they just gave us the answer?
Oh, the numbers on the books on the shelf.
Oh.
632415, I think that says.
Is that a 3 or is it an 8?
Well, there's only 6 books, so presumably it would be 3 and 5, not 8 and 5.
Yeah.
If you click on it, will it say which, what the letters are?
And a couple books on the glass shelf. Okay, yes. 632415.
632415. 632415.
6324415. You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? A powerful light bulb. Feels like a light bulb. Pretty high wattage too, unless I miss my guess. This should generate quite a bit of light. Ooh, I see. Books here in all sorts of languages. Can't read them. Let's see what we've got here. So many books here. I wonder what this one's... Whoa! What's this? Warm? Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? Japanese literature, origin of Japanese folklore. Well, folklore can cover a wide range of subjects: history, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Folklore can cover all those things if you know where to look. This looks pretty deep. There's another one of those picture books here. Hey! Something about these things feels kinda nice, you know? Brings back good memories. I guess even people like 7 were kids once. No shit, you little brat! Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me.
So we're looking for books with red spines.
It's got a magic wand on it. Okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it?
Oh!
Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside. Smart ass.
Wait. Aw.
Are you...
If you look on the front cover, that hammer is the miniaturization hammer. It's a Japanese folktale.
Ah.
It turns you into a little sprite-sized guy. That if you've played Okami, it's in Okami.
Ah.
I was gonna say, it's not just a little squeaky hammer.
Oh, it's not. Because the title of the book is Folk Tales of Japan, or something like that.
Okay.
Or Tales of Old Japan. So, it's based off of that little hammer. Sorry, I saw it, I was like, it's the hammer!
Pythagorean theorem. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. That's a weird book. Junpei? Indian mathematics. That's funny. Well, why is that funny? Clover, why is that funny? Riemann hypothesis. What? Clover!
Clover.
What is there
boy.
to hypothesize about with Riemann? Isn't it?
They're both terrible.
Heavens no, there are many factors.
I can do your man. Stop him.
It's like growing field. Whoa.
Whoa. And then they refuse to elaborate.
Oh boy. I think Ike is dying.
If only Santa were here to hear this.
I really and truly understand why the snake gay poll went the way it did.
Right. There were actually a large contingent of people who saw the "Is Snake Gay" poll.
Yeah, and they thought it was about
it
Solid
Solid
Snake. And they still voted yes.
Which is
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Snakes are gay. Back up the stairs. Technology. Oh, hello. What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious. How about this? Looks like putting those books in the right order opened this thing right up. Huh, that was a piece of cake. Hooray! You did it, Junpei! I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spell out, open here, find bulb.
Bulb.
And we have another light bulb.
Woo. Which means we need one more, probably.
Yep. Also need one more book.
Buke.
We looked at these ones.
I'm sitting here hoping against hope that my sleep meds don't kick in too soon and I start dying.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Mind swap, change bodies. Oh my god, 7. Oh, Necronomicon mentioned. And, like... That's where that
You're
was.
I
right.
thought there was a book on that shelf. Yeah, the bottom right.
Okay, there we go. This one says the golden rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about?
Mochi.
Yes. It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon, according to Chinese legend.
Or that. Oh, I guess it's not here. Keep looking. Bottom left? No. You've already looked here.
Looked through all of these ones already.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think there's in quadrants, maybe. So, like, just keep looking around. Bottom right? Yeah. There it is.
There we go. Hey, it's another one of those kids' picture books. It looks a lot like the other one we found.
Cowboys and Indians.
Oh boy. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa!
Oh.
Lick.
Lick.
Milk.
Lilt.
Get the
Lil.
man a glass of milk.
A good glass of Clem. Oh my god, it's
Whoa.
foreshadowing.
I would go ahead and put the book on the thing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's already a light in it. 'Cause sometimes they do that.
Oh,
I literally cannot wait for VLR.
Okay, how about we try putting these picture books on the stands, then... This is a little weird.
And then the light.
There are 3 lights in this thing. They aren't very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it into one of those lights? Yeah. Well, it'll get a lot brighter, but...
Oh, we need a
if
third
there
one.
are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. We need 3 light bulbs, huh?
Turn around.
Turn around.
Every
right.
Go upstairs.
That's not even what I was thinking. I was thinking of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
That's what I was doing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we were all doing.
Oh. No, for some reason I thought it was just...
Every now and then.
yeah.
That's what I said.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something
Yeah.
different. That's my bad.
I did
Okay.
say bright eyes, but that is part of the song. Turn around, bright eyes.
Yeah, but that's part of like the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's where I got confused. Okay.
I just don't remember the lyrics completely.
It makes me wish that that it wouldn't be copyright infringement to just put it over some of the segments of us just running through stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something near the walkway. Like, it's not gonna be something high up. Unless it's next to that ladder.
Did we already click the piece of paper that was on the table?
Yeah, we already did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just
Can
says
you,
lights
can
for
you
the
click
books.
the ladder?
No, it won't let me.
Oh. Boo. Turn around.
There's like not much to interact with here except the bookshelves.
It'll be in a bookshelf. Like, we just have to kind of like go through each of them, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, like, it's hard to keep
We
track
already
of
looked at
which
this
ones
one.
I've already gone through, you know?
Yeah.
Did all of those. Stop.
Okay, do you see a bookshelf that has holes in it?
Holes.
Yes.
Hole.
Back out. Turn right. The left side of the screen. No. Okay. The right
we
side
did
of
that
the
one.
screen. I don't see holes in this.
History of the Western world, European history. Hey, Chinese
Back
history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. Yeah. Medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot. My man. I'd say as if he's one of my favorites. He's not. Hellenism.
He's one of my favorite.
Greek mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Can't imagine anyone's actually read the whole thing. 7, you would be surprised.
Oh yeah.
Buddhism.
Go ahead and back out again.
Rome. Okay.
Turn to the right. I would go ahead and go downstairs. Or have you checked the left side of the screen? Like that bookshelf? Oh, it's the same one. Never mind.
Yeah. And this one,
We
I
already checked
believe
this
we've
one,
been
yeah.
through all of these as well.
It must be downstairs then.
Math. Blah, blah, blah. Pythagorean theorem. There's these, but
I don't think we can do anything with those yet.
yeah.
Um,
Old box conjecture. More math.
go to the right.
That's
Nope.
Ah.
Nah.
What the heck?
Go right again. That bookshelf,
There's nothing there.
Sure.
We already looked in this one.
yeah, we already opened that. Right,
Yeah,
one more
no,
time?
it's this. I have the walkthrough up because we're lost and we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And
Yeah.
it says the bulb that we're missing should be on the top that go up the stairs.
Where?
Yeah. It just says a bookshelf that has holes in it.
That means nothing.
Like, they all have gaps between some of the books. And this one is...
Okay, that's
that.
open here, find bulb.
Oh. Oh, that's nothing. Yapping about science. Superstring theory, that's quite a bit. General relativity. That's Einstein. Yep, we know that one. Quantum gravity. 7 doesn't know shit about science. What the heck?
Can you look at the map real quick? Okay. I have found a different walkthrough. We need to be facing south.
Okay. So... Is this...
Yes,
Yes.
I think.
Are you sure you're not just looking at the open here, find bulb one?
Or we might have to look from south. Yeah, other way, yeah. I'm confused. Try the other side, maybe?
No. That's not it.
We've been through all of these.
We looked at that.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Hang on.
Oh, thank God.
Let's look at it, okay? Huh. Looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei! I think there's something
There
hidden
it
behind
is.
the books.
What's this about holes? I don't see no holes.
There wasn't any fucking holes there.
Good God. Okay, go to the fucking podium.
God. Alright, so there are 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change these bulbs. Now they should...
Ugh.
Awesome! It worked! Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. Well, these letters, they seem familiar. Yep, Sheldrake 5.
Sounds like a band name from like the 60s.
It says Sheldrake on the spine of this book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Yes, I'm trying to...
Did we have to click the shadow?
God damn it.
We have to
Sheldrake
click the
5?
shadow. Oh,
Jesus.
I think I saw the rest
Adventure
of this
mode.
collection somewhere.
Junpei read the text out loud.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
7 and Clover walked off, leaving Junpei and Snake behind.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Junpei grinned.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory, morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
I wonder if Sheldrake knows about this game.
I would say it.
Really?
There
From
is a
Lotus,
very good
huh?
possibility.
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Junpei's eyes narrowed.
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Snake's shoulders slumped and he shook his head slowly.
Ugh.
He'd finally given up.
Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything. But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Junpei nodded. With that, they climbed the stairs to the top floor. Snake was silent for a moment after they arrived, then finally crossed his arms and spoke.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
Snake reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small, stiff piece of paper.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had symbols for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Snake nodded.
Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
Snake glanced down at Clover and Seven, examining one of the bookshelves.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us. No matter what the situation was.
Snake paused and cocked his head as though he was listening to something very far away. His face looked dark, as though something was weighing on him.
Hey, Snake?
Junpei wasn't quite sure what to say. Snake turned and looked at him.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she?
Snake looked down. His face was tight. A slight tremor shook his body, and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell that he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made as if to brush something from his face and looked up at Junpei.
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes.
Snake nodded slowly.
The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals. There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division. Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he had heard those 4 names somewhere before.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe
Bit of an
the devil
escalation.
exists.
Yeah.
Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
Snake nodded.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event.
Mass hands.
All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Wow, I love Omniscient Reader's viewpoint! Junpei thought about it for a moment.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began.
Snake suddenly looked very serious.
By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped.
His face barely moved as he spoke.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are two things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him.
Huh.
Just as Junpei was about to speak...
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses?
God.
Get down here already!
Uncalled for. Seven's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to stop him.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... her name was...
Snake couldn't seem to bring himself to continue. It looked as if what he was about to say brought him great pain.
Her name was Akane.
Boom!
That was the girl who died.
Whoa.
There we go, there's the sound effect. Junpei felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago? Then, who's June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. Doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
Junpei shook his head hard and pulled himself back to reality. Keep telling yourself that, Junpei.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Then Snake had noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, alright?
Snake raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear.
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
What? With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of feet against metal dug at his heart. Okay, now I can do this. Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Yes. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. I guess we should press this button. Whoa. What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. Let's go.
Oh my god, I'm so sleepy.
I know.
This looks like an output monitor. Yep. Well, I bet you've got to type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. Yep. Okay, so that was 13, 14, 10, 13. So...
Is this
You
another
need
base
numbers
10
and-
thing?
Yeah, you need numbers in base 10. You need to encode it, the Roman numerals into the letters that are numbers. I can tell you the solution.
Okay, so... I don't remember how it works. Okay, so 13 would be... If it's 10, A, B, C. Wait, but then one of them is just 10, right? Oh, no, wait, is it... Does it go... Huh?
You're one off.
Okay, so it's 9, A, B, C, D. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Ah.
Of course. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now! Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? Just makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on, we got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up! It's a thick metal door. There's a handle in the middle of it, though. Alright, handle, it's time we got this over with. Damn it. Can't get it open. What? Why not? We put in the password. What else do we have to do? Then that means it's the other door. Alright, let's get this thing open. Teehee whoopsie.
You found it!
Finally. Why?
That took too long. The door opened, and Junpei and the others leapt through it.
Alright, this is the next.
Just as Seven was about to finish his sentence, their attention was drawn to the clang of metal on metal ringing out behind them.
Oh, the door!
They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed shut.
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all his strength.
Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Could you two behave yourselves?
Hey, wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Oh, man.
They took a second look at the room they'd found themselves in. Oh boy. There's shit everywhere. It was
Yeah.
filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things.
Oh, those are bits of Reds and Deads.
Yep, they sure are. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. Also, there's a head here.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who had picked up and shaken the entire room a few times.
Looks that way.
Junpei's heart fell.
No way.
For real?
Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry.
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer. I rather doubt that, however. So it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Oh god. I might need to go to bed.
Oh no!
This is gonna take at least another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can stop it for now if you want.
Yeah, I really wanted to finish tonight, but they're not kidding. The true ending route is fucking long.
I thought it was. I was pretty
really
sure
thought-
we were
I really
finish
thought we were
that
going to be
quickly.
able to finish.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta pass out.
Okay.
Go pass out.
Go bed.
Good night.
Lady.
And I will see you all next time.